welcome the participants to this dinner, which is being hosted by Boston Global Forum, led by Governor Michael Dukakis, and we have here on our screens. So welcome, Governor Dukakis. It is a pleasure to have you with us tonight. This dinner is in honor of President Vaira Vike Freiberga, who tonight will be awarded with World Leader for Peace and Security, a prize which is precisely offered by the Boston Global Forum. And we, as members of the Club de Madrid, feel very proud of this very well deserved distinction. It is now a pleasure for me to introduce Governor Dukakis, who will give some remarks in honor of our president.
Thank you so much. It's a real pleasure to join you. And I'm sorry I can't be with you in Madrid. Unfortunately, I teach full-time here at Northeastern University. And I was in the classroom this morning, so I couldn't be in Madrid at the same time. Sorry about that. A wonderful city. And for those of you who are Spanish speakers, let me say that I'm the son of Greek immigrants. Soy hijo de niño de inmigrantes de Grecia. Y no sé por qué, pero el acento griego y el acento castellano son casi idénticos. Entonces, para nosotros es muy fácil de hablar y de practicar su lengua. I won't make this speech in Spanish, but what I simply said was that for reasons nobody can explain, the Greek and Spanish accents are identical. I'm the son of Greek immigrants. So if you're Greek, you have a perfect Spanish accent. And it's great to be with you all. As you heard, the Boston Global Forum is an organization which was created largely through the leadership of Tuan Nguyen, a dear friend and somebody who has worked so hard to put a group of foreign policy experts, knowledgeable people together in Boston to study important issues of security, peace, international understanding. And it's my great pleasure tonight to present our annual award, our World Leader for Peace and Security Award, to the former president of Latvia. We've been very fortunate to have worked with Vaira over the course of several years. First, when she was a fellow at the Institute of Politics at the Kennedy School, where I taught many, many years ago. And since then, she's been a frequent participant in the proceedings of the Boston Global Forum and is a member of our board of international thought leaders, where she has made significant contributions to our AI World Society initiative. But our award today is given also in recognition of many other contributions to peace and security in our home country, the Baltic region, Europe more broadly, and internationally. She's been a very, very productive world leader. Served for 2 terms, as many of you know, as president of Latvia at a time when it joined NATO and the European Union. And during her last year in office, Latvia's economy had GDP growth of more than 10%, one of the highest in the world. She's been a leading voice in strengthening the Baltic region, most continuously through the Riga Conference, which she founded in 2006 and has since met annually to discuss critical defense and foreign policy issues. Europe, too, has benefited from her efforts. She has, for example, served as vice president of the Reflection Group on the long-term future of the EU, was a member of the European Council on Tolerance and Reconciliation, and chaired the European Commission High-Level Expert Group on Media Freedom. And of course, she is a founding member of the World Leadership Alliance, Club de Madrid, and is concluding her 2nd term as its president in December. She has been the recipient of many awards, honorary doctorates, and accolades. And for all these reasons, the Boston Global Forum is honored to join the list today by presenting her our annual World Leader for Peace and Security Award. We will also be looking forward to celebrating her contributions at our Global Cybersecurity Day on the 12th of December at Harvard University. Madam President, congratulations, best wishes. We look forward to seeing you in Boston soon. Thanks very much.
Former President of Latvia, as a recipient of this year's Boston Global Forum World Leader for Peace and Security Award. I'm Michael Dukakis, one of the co-founders and the chair of the Boston Global Forum, an organization here in Boston dedicated to analyzing and finding solutions and initiatives that will help create a world of peace and security and cooperation. We've been fortunate to have worked with you, Madam President, in recent years. First, for many of us, when you were a senior fellow at Harvard University's Institute of Politics, and since then, as a frequent participant in the proceedings of the Boston Global Forum and a member of our Board of International Thought Leaders, where you've made significant contributions to our AI World Society initiative. But our award is also given in recognition of your many other contributions to peace and security in your home country, the Baltic region, Europe more broadly, and internationally. You've had a fruitful career, serving for 2 terms as President of Latvia at the time when your country joined the European Union, and during your last year in office, when Latvia's economy had GDP growth of more than 10%, one of the highest in the world. You've been a leading voice in strengthening the Baltic region, most continuously but not solely through the Riga Conference, which you founded in 2006, and has since met annually to discuss critical defense and foreign policy issues. Europe, too, has benefited greatly from your efforts. You have, for example, served as Vice President of the Reflection Group on the long-term future of the EU. You're a member of the European Council on Tolerance and Reconciliation and chaired the European Commission High-Level Expert Group on Media Freedom. And of course, you are a founding member of the World Leadership Alliance, Club de Madrid, and you're concluding now your 2nd term as its president this coming December. For all of these reasons, Madam President, the Boston Global Forum is honored to join the long list of your admirers today by giving you our annual World Leader for Peace and Security Award. And I want you to know that we will also be celebrating your contributions at our Global Cybersecurity Day on December the 12th of this year at Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Thanks for all of your contributions, your participation to our work, and a distinguished career as an international leader.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My first words must be, of course, my heartfelt thanks to the Boston Global Forum for this distinction that they have bestowed upon me, not once, but twice in a row. Because you have heard the Laudatio twice, I do not wish to be standing between you and your dinner for very long, but allow me to just make one remark among many that have come to mind after hearing the most interesting debates that we've been having here today. And may I say how thrilled the members of the Club de Madrid are to have gathered with us such a group of great intellects coming to share with us truly important concerns of the day and making such stimulating presentations. Just one thought that I'll share with you at the moment. Remember the picture we saw in that remarkably exciting lecture this morning, where we saw Faraday on the one hand with his invention of electricity, and Gladstone the politician on the other hand. Thus science on one hand and politics or governance on the other. Our forum here is about linking advances in science and technology, of which AI is a shining example, with politics and leadership and democracy. We were told that the response of the Prime Minister to the scientist was, well, what's it good for? And the question then is, whose fault is it that there was really a lack of understanding between a great discovery being made and its implications for the population at large and for those who govern it already in a democracy? Well, I would say that neither is at fault. Gladstone was a brilliant politician. He knew all about politics, he knew beans about science, and there's no reason why he should. Today, many scientists actually happen to reach the highest levels of both the government and of being presidents, but in those days that was not the case, and we cannot blame him for being what he was, a very successful politician. Faraday, for his part, cannot be blamed as a scientist for not being able to put in simple words what his discovery meant, and even less so for thinking and anticipating all the incredible applications that it would see in the near and far future. That was not his job. Imagine if Faraday had been an employee of a firm having paid for his research and only looking to its bottom line at the end of the year and the dividends to its shareholders and the price of its shares on the stock market. It would have been a disaster, especially since we know that he was the son of a blacksmith, was apprenticed in his teens, and it's only by an absolutely blind accident of chance that a member of the Royal Society actually took him under his wing and helped him get to become self-educated and to become one of the most brilliant scientists of the 19th century. What we need to join the two is somebody like Edison. Edison is a different kind of animal. He is a different species, and that is the man who invents something practical by seeing the potential of application in a discovery in fundamental science. So if I may use this opportunity of having you as a captive audience, I would say that all of you who are either opinion shapers or in contact with your leaders, please remember that artificial intelligence is based on fundamental research, that whatever its relations and the results of its applications in terms of impact on society and on democracy, it starts out with a need for governments and for politicians to support basic research, basic non-applied research, free research, peer-evaluated, not commanded or ordered or asked for in order to make a profit. No. The startup firms, the entrepreneurs, the teenagers in their basements, they are the ones like the inventor of the light bulb who make the link between the two. So let's remember, Gladstone is not, he's not alone on his side. He should have been creating already support for the scientists of Britain, as we have now various research councils and also research council in Europe. And the countries that support basic research are the ones that have the most applied research results. You see, the two go together. And as a former scientist, you see, I couldn't help but make this pitch when we were talking about the link between politics and science. Thank you very much.
Quick pitch, thank you very much for science and politics again. You were all given this on the way in. There was a lot of conversations today about social contracts and the role of data in society. And we're working with Governor Dukakis, Tuan Nguyen, Vint Cerf, who is one of the creators of the internet, myself, who've been involved in AI from the beginning to now helping several countries do things, to put together a sort of simple example of what such a social contract might be. It's not a legal document. It's intended to be something that the average citizen could understand, and a template for how to integrate data into our societies. And what we hope is that you will read it, send us feedback, get involved as we, and I speak as MIT now, help a whole variety of countries begin to put this into effect in their countries. Thank you.
And also I will add more some my dear colleague, Professor Alice Penland. That is today we have wonderful conference. World Leadership Alliance Club Madrid talk about new social contract, new deal data, and in new society. And we Boston Global Forum and MIT Connection Science together to make how and what is a new social contract, and we do that social contract, that AI Society Social Contract 2020. We will announce next year in Harvard, April 28, 29, and we hope that is we will together from all people here, all our leaders here today will come to Harvard on 28, 29 April 2020 together with us for conference with World Leadership Alliance Club de Madrid, work with Governor Maidu Kokikis and Boston Global Forum in next year. And also congratulations again with my dear leader, President Vaira Vike Freiberga, and our thank you so much for World Leadership Alliance Club de Madrid. Wonderful organization, wonderful initiative and contribution for the world, for a better world, a peace, of security, a peace and a security world. Thank you so much. And now I think we're ready for dinner, and I hope we have a great dinner and enjoy dinner and fun dinner tonight. Thank you so much for your coming. Wonderful night today.